Hello my dear students. In my last video, you have seen what we have to do under the course 201 Basics of Research. As I discussed in that you have to do a short research during your second year. So first you have to prepare the proposal and then you have to do the research and present it in your group. You must be thinking, what is research and why should we do it? Many of you might not have ever done research. So I'm just giving you a brief idea about what is research and how you should do it. Let's see what is the concept of research. Research is a careful investigation or inquiry, especially through the search of new facts in any branch of knowledge. Research is basically the investigation of any new things which are provided in and around us, and it is pertaining to all the branches of knowledge. Kerlinger defined it as a scientific research, a systematic, controlled, empirical, critical investigation of hypothetical propositions about the presumed relation among natural phenomena. According to him, research is a systematic, controlled work. It is very systematic, should be followed in a proper way, controlled, that no other variables or no other disturbance should disturb it in any which way. Empirical means that it should be done practically to solve the problem or to find out the result, as well as critical because you are putting your ability to logical thinking and finding out the results. So critical investigation it is. Often hypothetical proposition. Hypothetical means sometimes you face a problem and we think that there can be different solutions. So whatever solution we see it as a hypothetical way. That means it may solve. So that is a hypothetical proposition. And it helps us to find out the relations or the solution of the given problem. Research is a systematic activity which makes original contribution for the progress and advancement in the available stock of knowledge. So it is a contribution. It gives a contribution to the existing knowledge and it helps in advancement and progress in the bank of knowledge or in the store of knowledge. So most of the time it is undesirable that the research is repeated. It asks for an original contribution because research requires a lot of efforts. So if it is not an original work, what happens? Most of the time the results are just duplicate of what is already done. So the work, the efforts are usually go in vain. That's why it should be an original contribution. Having understood the research, let's see what educational research means. Educational research is the systematic attempt or approach to understand the educational process and also to improve the efficiency of the educational process. In educational research, the work is always done in scientific manner. The steps are followed in a scientific way, as it is a research. It should be empirical, it should be objective oriented, it should be scientific, systematic and controlled. So educational research has all these qualities. It also leads to the development of organized and systematic body of scientific research in all ways of education, where we all as a teachers, as an educationist or as an educator concerned with. It develops the body of knowledge from where we gain the knowledge, from where we can understand things better in the field of teaching and learning, in the field of education. It also improves the practices as educational research or researchers in education field try to find out the solutions of different problems which are being faced by people in education field. Educational research improves the educational practices in all round manner, and its ultimate goal is to see that how we are changing the behavior of the kids and developing them into a better human resource. Educational research is also helps to understand, explain, predict and sometimes control human behavior. As in education, we deal with human beings, and the ultimate goal of education is to change the behavior in a positive way. So the researchers which are done in education field help us to understand the human behavior. They also help us to explain why certain people acts in certain way in particular situation. It also helps us to predict how a person is going to behave given in a particular circumstances, and also it helps us to control the behavior which are negative in their impact. What are the characteristics of educational research? It is highly purposive. Whenever we do research, we try to find out some or other answers. So that the finding out that answer, that particular answer is very purposive. We know that we want to find it out. Sometimes maybe we cannot find out, we will get a negative result, but still we want to do it in a purposeful manner to get some results. That's why it is highly purposive. It is expert, systematic and accurate in investigation. As we are talking about research, research itself is a body of systematic and accurate investigation, which is very scientific. So educational research also has the same characteristics. It's very systematic and must be followed in proper steps. You cannot go haphazardly. You have to follow certain steps which are there in research. It gathers knowledge and draw out new knowledge out of the gathered data. So it actually involves in gathering knowledge from the data we gather while doing the research. So logical and objective sequence should be followed. That's why it is systematic, and it should be short and direct. No unrelated thing should be done in that. To the point work should be done, and it should be very goal oriented and objective. Organizes the data in qualitative terms, studies carefully and record reports. In educational research, we gather the data, we organize them in such a manner that we can easily find out the inference from the data, and we study the data very carefully so that we can find out that what the data is giving us, what the data is telling us, what are the different things the data is having in them. So study of data gives a lot of idea that what changes are being happening, and to record them properly is very important. And it emphasizes on the discovery of general principle and final innovative idea. The purpose of research is mostly to generalize the idea. Generalize the idea means that if you have applied certain new things in your classroom and you have got a better result, you can definitely advocate it to be done with the other student in other classes by other teachers, and it should give the desired outcomes which you have already found out. That means you are generalizing your idea for the other students or for solving similar problems in other classes. Let's see the other characteristic of educational research. For a researcher who is doing educational research, it is not only important that he or she has a scientific attitude, but it is also very important that that person or that researcher has imagination and a good insight. If they will have a good insight, at that time they will be easily able to understand the problem in their working area. And if they are imaginative or they have good imagination, in that case they can be able to form different types of solution for that particular problem. They can come up with different types of solution for that particular problem. So for that purpose, we require out of box thinking. So the researcher should always have scientific attitude along with a great insight and imagination power. The next characteristic is that most of the time we think that the research, whenever we are doing research, it should be always successful. But it may not be the case. It can be successful or it can be unsuccessful. When successful, definitely we learn things from it, and when it is unsuccessful, again it enriches our knowledge. We understand about what things we should not do. We know that what kind of other things can be implemented so that we can get good results. So both the things, successful and unsuccessful researchers, always enriches the knowledge. Educational research is a interdisciplinary research because it requires knowledge and help of other subjects. When we are doing research in education field, mostly we work with the kids or human beings. So if we consider a human being, the entire attribute of an individual or the entire class depends upon the psychology of the class, the age of the class, the socio-economic background of the class, the culture, and so on and so forth. So there, if we only consider the teaching learning process, we may not get all the answers. And for to get desirable answers or answers in a positive manner, we need to consider all other disciplines as well, like psychology, sociology, economics, geography of area, everything. That's why it is said that educational research is an interdisciplinary research. The procedure are not absolutely exact. So if we think that a person who has done a research in that particular area, say in mathematics, has followed certain points, and in my case I also am going to follow the similar way, it may not be same for me, because my problems in my class is different from the problem he or she has faced in his or her class. So problems are different, so the solution and the procedure should be also different. Having said that, it may be same in certain time, but most of the time we need to think about all the background of the problem to think about the solutions. So the procedure of the entire research may not be exact with the previous studies. Very important, the researcher, whenever they are doing research, they should be very patient, and there should be the attempt, the work should be done in a very unhurried manner, with a very calm and peaceful manner. Otherwise, the work cannot be of very good quality. The next point is, to do any research, and basically educational research, the researcher require a lot of courage, since here we are talking about human lives. So to disturb it, to modify it, to do something with it, we require courage. Even there are huge amount of stakeholders which are there in educational field, where we have to give our explanation. If we want to modify something in certain area, in that case we need to talk to the parents, we need to talk to the management, we need to talk to the other people who are or are who will be associated with us. So that all convincing part to do the research require a lot of courage. And research should be done in the quest of doing things better, not only for promotions, not only for any other things. It should be done in a quest, or in a motivation, with a motivation that I want to improve the practices which is there. I want to improve as a teacher. I want to improve the life of my student. I want to do better for my student and for my society. So that should be the motto, that should be the motivation to do research in education field. Now let's see what are the different types of researches. There are basically three types of researches: fundamental research, applied research, and action research. I'm going to explain them one by one. First, see about the basic research or fundamental research. As the name suggests, basic research are concerned with the formulation of a theory and contribution to the existing body of knowledge. Like, it develops theory, different theories. So to develop this theory, you need to work. All of a sudden you have got an idea and you will propose it and you want others to follow. It is not going to be done, and nobody will follow. So if you have ideas and you prove it that it is beneficial, people will definitely follow. So the theory building process is itself very vast research. So those type of researches are known as fundamental or basic research. Why they are known as basic? Because they form the ground, or they form the base of the other researches, or they form the base of other studies. That's why they are known as basic research. Now, for example, you all know about Newton's law of relativity. That is a fundamental research. You know about different psychological theories. All of them are fundamental researches. It is a major aim to obtain and use the data and evidences to formulate, expand, and evaluate a theory. What is the aim of fundamental research? That it obtains the data using variety of things, and then it formulate the theory, and sometimes it evaluate the theory also. Like about the black hole, Stephen Hawking has given a theory earlier, but later on he said that I was wrong about it. So he evaluated the theory and he proposed a new thing. That is also a fundamental research. That evaluation of the existing theory and expansion of the theory is also part of it. Like you have heard about Gestalt School of Psychology, where different psychologists work together to come up with the ideas. So the seed was being shown by Gestalt, and then it is being expanded or grown by different psychologists. So that is expansion of the theory. And formulate, already I told you that Newton's law is the best example of it. It is a very rigorous and structured type of analysis. You cannot afford to make a slightest mistake in that. The entire result will go wrong. And why it is so rigorous? Because these fundamental researches are being applied to the general people, to everybody. It's generalization in universal term. So fundamental researches are universal. So whenever you want to apply something for the entire universe or for the entire world, it's need to be very structured and rigorous. And finally, it employs very careful sampling procedure in order to extend the findings beyond the group or the situation, and thus develops theories by discovering proved generalization of principles. The sampling procedure is also very important. On whom it is going to be applied, who will be the target population, based on that sampling procedure will be very important, so that the findings of the sample, the findings which we get from the sample, can be extended to the generalization of the theory, so that it can be extended to all population. So that is another characteristics of very important for basic research. Now let's action research. Action research is a goal-oriented research. Wherever we face certain problem during our day-to-day working, and we try to overcome it, we try to improve it, we try to modify it, we do action research. That's why it is goal-oriented. We want immediate answers, yes or no. It accepts the capacity and ability of the worker to solve his own problem by modifying and improving the practices. It says that researchers which are being done in the lab or in a closed environment and then generalize may not always work in day-to-day working. And it also believes that the worker who is working on the field is the best judge of a working situation, because they only can find out the better possible way of working. And that capacity or that ability of the worker to improve, to modify the practices, is accepted in action research. That's why it goes to the grassroots level. Each and every teacher, each and every worker in whichever field can do action research. It is a practical approach to professional inquiry in any social situation. Any social situation in a classroom, any kind, we have a social situation and we face certain kind of problem. And that hampers the professional commitment or the dedication of the teacher or any worker. So what they will try to find out the answer, and that practical approach, or that if they are doing it with a very scientific and practical approach, that is counted as action research. Action research is particular relevant to the teacher and lecturers engaged in their daily contact with the student and teacher, because every now and then we face different kind of problems related to the child, related to the kid. So we can definitely solve all these problems. Now let's see what is applied research. Applied research is a research where we try to find out the solution of immediate, specific and practical problems. We deal with many different problems in our day-to-day life, and when we try to solve them, when we try to practically solve all our problems, that in that case we do applied research. Now in your mind you might be thinking, what is the difference between action research and applied research in that case? The basic difference between applied research and action research is that action research we do on daily basis, try to find out small solutions of the problems we encounter in your class, and it is of the immediate reaction of that whole class. We see the whole class in the immediate reaction, or a particular section of boys, but the action and the reaction are very immediate. We see what is the result very immediate, within 1 month, within 2 months, 3 months, sometimes 7 days, 8 days, 9 days. So action research can be worked in days, but in case of applied research, most of the time it takes a lot of time, because one of the aspects of applied research is that it is not of only use for the small population which is there in the class, but for a larger population which is beyond the specific class. So that is the basic difference between applied research and action research. So we can say in other way that action research is a type of applied research where we try to find out very quick actions or results for any problem. Applied research also tries to find out solutions from the actual problems which are in the practice of our day-to-day life. Here, the goal of applied research mostly based on the practical applicability of the thing. And the secondary thing is that to add to the body of the knowledge. Usually in fundamental research, we add to the theories. Here, what we see is the applicability of the theory in different situations. The same theory of insightful learning may have different result in USA and may have different result in India or maybe some other part of the country. So how the theories are applied in different parts and how it gives results is the study of applied research. Here we see how the theories are being applied and what the result we get. So here most of the time it is application based, and rarely, very rarely, it's add up to the scientific knowledge of the body. It also uses the scientific method of inquiry because it is a systematic study, it is a controlled study, it is an empirical study which should be done in a scientific way to get a better result. That's why it always follows scientific method of inquiry. It has most of the characteristics of the basic research. Whatever the steps followed by basic research is also followed over here. But only one difference is that Basic research are very rigorous, very time consuming, and applied research are little less than that, not as rigorous as applied research. And finally, as I already told you, fundamental researches are applied universally, but applied research, the result of applied research has local applicability. It cannot be applied in an universal manner. Okay? So it has a definite practical objective. Let me give you an example. If I say that I want to apply a certain kind of theory for 7th standard student of Maharashtra board, and I have got certain result using a particular sample, say any school in your vicinity, any school, you name it, Saint Anthony, Saint Joseph's, whatever you name. You are taking 7th standard of that particular school and you are applying the theory to find out the result. And this result, when you find out, you can apply it to all the students of 7th standard of Maharashtra board. But the same result cannot be applied for the 7th standard student of CBSE board. That means it has a local applicability. It applied to certain particular section of the people who are the targeted population, not universal. I hope you have understood applied research. Applied research are of two types, experimental research and survey research. Here in your short research, you have to do either experimental research or a survey research. I'll come up with another video explaining these two research after some time. So till then, you try to understand this concept of research, educational research, fundamental research, action research, and applied research. Thank you. And